What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's going on with the overall market and some very important levels to watch for. I'm also going to talk about how the market's looking in terms of like SPY, Nvda, Tesla, the QQQ, and a couple of tickers out there, and talk about some important levels to watch for as we move forward, and then break down what's happening right now. But before I break anything down about this information, before I talk about what's happening to the market so far, let me just mention a couple of things. I'm firstly not a financial planner, so take none of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks with a $50 cash reward. The offer ends in 10 days, so check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. All right, guys, look at the market. The market got a very nice pump to start us off in the morning with Nvda pumping like crazy. The market was very strong during the pre-market. However, we are slowing down as of right now as Apple is sinking just a little bit, but overall, a lot of stocks out there are still holding up very nicely. In particular, Nvidia and also Tesla are looking quite good. But the real question is, how will the market move from here? What do I think is going to end up playing out? I'm going to break this all down over the next couple of minutes. So looking at some things to know before the market opened, just as a reminder, we didn't really have any massive data that came out. And for earnings, we have Nvidia coming out for Wednesday. But 5 things to know before the market opened. Basically, we saw the market dropping quite a bit over the last couple of days, and getting a technical bounce like this was completely normal. We do have more retail earnings coming out later on for the week, such as Macy's, Kohl's, Nordstrom, Dollar Tree, and the list goes on. Not to mention Nvidia for Wednesday, it's going to be very telling and very interesting. Looking at China, you can see right over here, there is more data suggesting that there is a weakening of the economy. And despite that, they've been cutting the 1-year loan prime rates by 10 basis points, and they could be doing it again by another 15 basis points, according to Reuters. And besides that, it's pretty much it for now. That's going to be very significant for the markets, at least for some things that are like still relevant. Now the question is, how has the market moved? How are things looking so far? So I'm going to first start off by talking about Tesla. Tesla was one of the best plays of the day, got a crazy pump this morning. We actually, I was telling you guys yesterday, we had this nice inverse head and shoulder structure on it, this nice accumulation phase. When it came to the way Tesla would move, it could either come down and then get a really nice bounce, or it would just pump from where we were yesterday. Not yesterday, for Friday. But with Tesla opening up like this, we actually broke above this resistance zone right about here, getting above 221. And this thing shot all the way up to about 230, almost perfectly at this resistance right here. And then it got a rejection, so it is slowing down just a little bit. The next support is going to be very close to about 225. There are also like tighter levels for it, but it got a very nice pump. And in my opinion, we might see some sideways price action based off this full measured move. We could see Tesla kind of like range trade for the time being between 225 and 230. It could even go a little lower, just go back and forth, but we could get another push later on to these higher levels. It is still looking quite good. We have a nice accumulation that formed right here, and it could still be forming like a cup and handle. It still looks quite good so far. Expect a slight pullback, but it's not looking that bad. Now, Aapl got a little pump in the morning. We saw Aapl pump quite a bit before coming right back down. And if anything, it didn't continue to go, but it could continue to go moving forward. It's still holding 174 quite decently. That's completely fine because it's going to be like an accumulation. And it could keep going. It could keep, continuing to push because it still is holding this inverse head and shoulder structure, and we have this imbalance up here around this 177 area. Is Aapl kind of weak right now? Sure, it is, but it's going to try to push up later on, in my opinion. I don't think it's done with just yet. It's a little slow, but it's going to try. And we're going to be watching and trying to make its way back up to about 175. If it breaks 175.5, that's going to be a key resistance. Break that, and this thing has the potential to push all the way up closer to 177. And that's going to be a very bullish signal if it manages to do so. For Nvidia, this is looking like a monster so far. We called this out just a few days back. We even called this out yesterday. I told you it's going to break out, and it just broke out like crazy. It is currently at 450, and it has more potential to continue pushing. Now, looking at this bull flag that formed on it, you could see it was in this channel. I told you guys this drop right here could have been the accumulation. Institutions dropped it on Friday to start buying because they're getting ready to pump it. And then look what happened. It just shot up as soon as we opened. Even during the pre-market, it just continued to pump. And this thing is not done, in my opinion. Now, could we get a little pullback? Sure, we could, right? It depends on if 450 holds or not. If it breaks below that, I mean, we could see like 446 or so, but then it could bounce off that and continue going. If it breaks 455, so 45, 450, 452, then 455, break all of those. 460 is a real possibility. You know, above that, 462, 465, and then 470 are going to be some resistance levels. 470 is on the table for tomorrow and beyond. There's a lot of hype so far, and very, very massive call sweeps for 500 happen to be coming out. Now, I'm not saying it's going to go to 500 before earnings, but the full measured move would take it very close to like 470. There could be more upside coming over the next few days and still is looking quite strong. So watch Nvda carefully, watch your resistance levels, and just know it's looking very, very decent so far. And this is what's helping pump the market. This helped the market pump in the morning. The market has slowed down thanks to Apple, but overall, Nvidia is holding and has lots of relative strength, and it's going to keep going most likely. Now, for SPY, it's not looking that strong. We got a very nice pump to start us off thanks to Nvidia. Very, very nice pump. You can see right here, we got this breakout from our little channel that developed. And it actually went to about, it went a little bit above our resistance right here. So it went about to almost 439, just below 439. And it came right back down. So now it's currently testing. It actually went down to about 436.5. It's getting very close to that. It could actually come a little lower to fill this gap. It could come down to about 436 flat before it tries to get an accumulation right here, but continue going. But as long as it holds above, around this, I would say around 435, as long as it's above 435, it has potential to keep going because we have an inverse head and shoulders that is still valid, and the full measured move could take this thing all the way up to the 440s over the next couple of days. Now, it could take a little bit longer for SPY to get there, as it is a little bit weak right now because of Aapl. But thanks to Nvidia and the market holding up, I still think it could accumulate in these areas and start pushing up later on. Even during the afternoon, we could get a push. So just watch it very carefully. There's some strength developing here. Completely normal that it pulled back, completely normal. Uh, as long as it holds these levels, it still has a bullish structure that is developing. There's not a real change in its structure. It looks quite good so far. So watch it try to hold these levels. Please remember that this thing was in like the 433s just on Friday, right? This thing was at 434, 435 on Friday. We're still in the 436s. We're almost in 437 now. It's still holding up decently, so don't worry too much. Be patient, wait for it, and this thing still could keep going, so don't worry too much. Now, with that said, let me just talk about a couple of other tickers. I don't think I mentioned this about Aapl. One more thing about it. Also, don't forget to watch VWAP. That's going to be very important, I think, for like Aapl. I have VWAP right over here. It could make its way back up to about 174.85, which is where VWAP happens to be. And if Aapl were to be pushing up to that level, SPY could get its way right back up to like the 437.8 area so far. So it's still holding up, not looking that bad. We're just going to be watching support. It could bounce and the overall structure still looks more bullish. Looking at Neo got a nice balance. We were talking about this as well in an earlier video. For the QQQ, decent so far, holding up thanks to the overall tech sector. We went all the way up to about 362.6, just below 363. So we came just short of that. Came down, got this rejection. Now we're trying to bounce, and we're getting very close to our VWAP area. 361 could be tested. So far, it's holding up quite decently. Nvidia is now pumping again, getting a bounce off VWAP. Nice looking trend so far. It actually held around VWAP, so not looking bad. Just for a couple of others before I end the video. The dollar is still flat right now, not really doing too much. Not really affecting the market that much. It's actually starting to pump a little bit. Once again, not really affecting the market too badly. 10-year treasury yield is also up just a little bit. Now, normally these things could slow the market down, but the market is still trying to hold up. I think the market's going to maintain its stance thanks to Nvidia and the other factors. So we're just going to be watching all these levels very carefully. Meta got a bounce too. We were talking about this as well. It's getting very close to our target of 290. I still think it could get there over time. Just needs a little bit more time. Amazon also trying to hold up, not looking too bad. It actually reached our target of 135, but rejected off that. We were talking about 135 being tested on Amazon. It's now coming back to its support at 133, so watch that all very carefully. Watch this range for Amazon, see which way it breaks. All right, so with that said, thank you all for listening. Have a great day. I'll talk to you guys later on about the markets, and just know, so far so good. We're still trying to hold up. Nothing is looking that horrible as long as we don't break some particular supports. And just watch your trends, do what you have to do, and I'll see you guys very soon for the next one. Thank you, and peace out.